Hi everybody, another Saints review. This one's a bit more calm because I got a bit more of the game in my brain last night. I stayed up pretty late last night playing the game. So let's start off pretty quick. We're going to start off with the characters and some of the rival gangs. So first off is Nina. I would like to say she's basically Shanti. From before you comment down below, like she's nothing like Shanti. She's completely different. I'm saying she's like kind of like Shanti, like a badass girl on the team, and a team filled with mainly guys. And yeah, like Nina's pretty cool. And spoiler alert, when her car that she's been working on for a while gets destroyed, it's revealed that it was her family car. Not like her gang family car, but like her family car. It was a very sad moment, in my opinion, because like it actually had like a bit of weight to it, because through some dialogue and stuff we've seen how much she cared about the car before, in the build up of her actually telling us why she cares so much about the car at the moment after it was destroyed was very heart touching, like to an extent. And something I need to elaborate on that I said about Kev in the last video about him being like Johnny Gat. What I meant by that is like a mixture of the douchebaggery of Saints Row 4 Johnny Gat. Now you may be wondering what do I mean by douchebaggery of Johnny Gat from Saints Row 4. Johnny Gat just felt like some dude that was just there to give one-liners in Saints Row 3 and 4, in my opinion. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. Like always there to say some one-liner that makes him seem like an absolute badass, and he is a badass. Johnny Gat is. So is Kev, kind of. But the problem with Kev is he's a bit more cocky, which makes him more unique. Johnny Gat, he was fearless and would just do dumb shit that would most likely get him killed. But he usually survives. Why did I say usually? Well, if you never played Saints Row 3, it's implied, spoiler alert, that he dies, but another spoiler alert, he's apparently not dead, because in Saints Row 4 he's apparently fucking alive. I feel like they just pulled that out of their ass randomly. Now we're getting off topic here because Johnny Gat's goddamn weird existence in this Saints Row franchise. And my thoughts on Eli, I already said this in the last video, I couldn't remember his name and I couldn't figure out how to pronounce it. I really like Eli. He's basically a more chill Kenzie. Now, a lot of people like Kenzie, but Kenzie's just fucking annoying, in my opinion. I always saw her constant nagging and just being a dick to the boss in Saints Row 3 and I think 4? Yeah, 4. She was in 4. And it was just constantly annoying just hearing her talk. Her voice was also annoying, but Eli is just way more chill. He's just the typical nerd guy, and I can relate with him kind of. And then there's the boss. Now, it's kind of hard to pin a personality on the boss in any Saints Row game because for some reason, every Saints Row game, the boss personality seems to be from I'm an absolute badass to I'm an absolute dumbass. And I wish there was a way that you could have dialogue options to change some stuff in the Saints Row reboot. Now, I know that's a stupid thing to ask for a game like Saints Row or GTA. Saints Row's nothing like GTA, but I just thought the type of genre of game, they're kind of similar. Saints Row's fucking crazy. With Saints Row, it would make more sense because you're making a custom character and you want to be that character. But the thing is there's the boss in Saints Row reboot is just so goddamn not exactly full of himself or herself or whatever the hell you create in Saints Row 3. I mean, not 3. Fuck. Sorry. In Saints Row reboot, it just feels so weird. It's a mixture of I'm an absolute badass, I'm an absolute dumbass, I hate myself. That seems to be the whole personality of this character that we play as. And that's why I wish there was a custom thing that you can pick in the personality thing instead of just the voice. And the emotes that you do. Well, the taunts. And apparently there's flossing in the game, and that makes me sad. Yeah, there's things about the game I don't like. Big surprise. And let's get to some of the rival gangs. The first rival gang, I can't pronounce the name of. Nina, I have trouble saying her name, is a part of the first rival gang that you fight. And the boss of that gang, I can't remember his name either. These reviews have no script. At all. I just go off my memory of what I played. And I make some notes. And then I read them before I record. I made some notes on the gameplay and stuff. We're gonna get to that later. But the rival gang that you first fight feels unique. Kind of feels like a Pacific rival gang from Saints Row 3 with a Pacific dude with a wrestler mask on his head. Just saying, kind of similar. I'm just getting my critiques right now. I have a lot of problems with rival gangs, but some of them seem kind of unique. Now, Marshall is the company that you work with at the very beginning before, to be your own boss mission. That's not that much of a spoiler because the game starts off with you working for Marshall. I think I'm saying that right. The government that with the dude that looks like Dum Dum Dim Dum. Over the Dum Dum Dim Dum. I'm not saying that right either. I suck at this. So, yeah. That's technically not a rival gang, that's a threat. Because, spoiler alert, you get fired from that job. Well, you kind of have to. Because how else would the Saints be formed? But it's just kind of weird how when they go to the church in the mission, the logo's already purple, and it seems like the angel with the guns from Saints Row 3 is on the wall, but it's like scratched out. So is this like a aftermath thing? Or a prequel? Or just a fresh start for the franchise after Alien? Shit. Like, that's my only question about the freaking part of the plot that makes zero sense to me. But another thing is, I really like how they did the whole, like, you have to do missions for the companies and stuff that you own. Instead of just owning them, you have to do stuff for them to help you. The first one you build is free, and you also get one for free, which is a garage. And you do some missions, and if you do enough, you get like a massive amount of money and a massive amount of XP, and also it increases the amount of money that it makes during like gameplay and stuff. The weird sounds outside. Sorry about that. It distracted me. I just heard some weird sounds. And another thing is about the whole story is just why wasn't there like more of a build up to the boss wanting to make a gang? Like out of nowhere. No spoiler alert, Eli gets shot by I think it was the hell was it again? Fucking idol. I think it was an idol, which is another rival gang that I think I forgot to mention. That reminds me a lot of Matt Miller's gang with the fancy technology shit and being over the top and being like all futuristic and shit and being like ravers and being like zoomers. I hate using that word because people call the game zoomer trash, yet the game technically makes fun of zoomers with the idols and Gen Z with the idols. Like, it literally makes fun of them in a way. Because your first encounter with them is a rave like situation, and you're just talking to them, and they say the stupidest shit. Like, one of them literally says that they hacked every electrical fridge, and during summer he's gonna just no more ice for everyone. And apparently they're like a non-capitalist, like, communist thing. But isn't the whole thing that you're trying to do as the Saints apparently in the game is trying to be building up a like non-capitalist society? And also, if you're wondering what point at the game I'm at now, it's way farther, I think, than I was earlier. I'm actually at the point that you're like a saint. I'm on the mission that you have to rescue Kevin from the idols. Spoiler alert, Kevin betrays the idols, and you have a boss fight with one of the leaders. Multiple leaders for one gang. At least I think they're leaders. They're like they have like different names and different like cool helmets. I have to admit their designs are fucking cool. The helmets that the main ones have. The designs for the normal ones are fucking weird. Just look like just strap some tape on that was colored. Gameplay. My thoughts on the gameplay. Alright, so it's not bad. It's really not that bad. The only problem I have with it is how health works now. How you can gain health by getting like a kill with a headshot or by doing a takedown. This is the first time I'm ever going to say this. I wish they did something that they did in Saints Row 4 and brought back health pickups. That would have been very helpful. Healthful. Oh, fuck. Oh. So, yeah. I just don't like how the health mechanic has changed. Originally, you could just go behind cover and heal. The game was kind of like a cover shooter and stuff. But now it just feels tedious. Now you technically... I cut myself off sometimes, but it's technically still a cover shooter because you have to hide behind cover and wait for your takedown meter to either go up or your skills thingies to go up and use a perk to get like 1% health back, or use like a perk that makes you invincible to damage or something like that, or a perk that when you damage enemies you get some of their health. Also, I'm sorry for like when I'm in videos I randomly cut myself off when talking in the middle of a sentence. Another thing to say about the gameplay, the perks mechanic is really fun. Yes, I said it. No one else has a problem with it, so it's, at least I think, I don't know, I've never seen anyone complain about the perks. It's basically like some Saints Row 4 like stuff. Like literally one of the perks, or I think it was skills, well, perks and skills. One of the things you can unlock is a flaming punch. I recently unlocked that because I'm trying to get up to level 10 so I can get more health, because on the mission that you save Kev, you fight a really hard boss fight. An actual hard boss fight in a Saints Row game. Surprising. That doesn't have a damn force field around it that you have to do Pacific Elemental shit to destroy. No, I like Saints Row 4. I'm just saying, like, comparing Saints Row 4 to Saints Row Reboot, Saints Row 4 looks a bit worse in some mechanical stuff. Not appearance-wise. That's up to the eye of the beholder. I think the new Saints Row game looks absolutely fucking beautiful. I am running this on a iCore 5 GeForce RTX with an SSD and a hard drive. And also, I'm running the, I think, like, Direct 12 version, whatever the hell it's called. Not Vulkan, whatever the heck it's called. so I have like a bit more like options for like graphics. Sometimes it does bug out. Also, the gunplay. I do have some problems with the gunplay. There are some enemies that have 2 health bars. One of them, they're like immune to melee damage, and no one's going to be using melee attacks unless it's like a scripted fight. Well, unless you're screwing around with the melee weapons, and I've tested, and sometimes the melee weapons still do damage to them because they taunt, and that's when they're vulnerable to anything. And the proximity mine ability thing is kind of broken, but like what I mean by broken is like OP as fuck. I know that's not really gameplay related, but I just wanted to mention if you're having some trouble with large crowds of enemies, either use the first one you unlock, which is the grenade down pants, which is very useful if you aim it right into a crowd of enemies, or the proximity mine, just throw it on the enemy. It doesn't instantly kill them when it blows up because for some reason enemies are like explosion proof unless if they're next to a vehicle that explodes. Sometimes that doesn't even kill them unless they're in the vehicle, then it kills them. Explosions in the game I have a problem with because they really don't work right. Yeah, I have criticisms. I don't think the game's perfect. Now let's move on to bugs. What everyone says the game is absolutely filled with. And most of the bugs I experienced are ones that were really prevalent. Sorry about that. In Saints Row 3 Remastered and Saints Row 3. And Saints Row 2. And Saints Row 4. So bugs have been in pretty much all the Saints Row games, not counting one because that game has some problems of its own that I've experienced when playing it recently because I just wanted to play it. I played it recently and it wasn't that fun playing the first Saints Row. It felt too boring. So the bugs I've experienced recently are spray painting on wall, like the spray painting on walls like glitching, like in and out of the wall, like. But usually that happens when I don't let the shaders optimize all the way. Yet again, I am playing on PC, so stuff really doesn't always apply unless you're playing on like a Steam Deck, which wouldn't be possible unless if you like did some jailbreaking on the Steam Deck. I don't know how Steam Decks work. I never used one. I don't know if it comes to the Epic Game Store. But like, I just experienced some weird problems. Like, if I'm in a truck, sometimes when I get out of the car, I'll take like 0.0001% damage. My screen was just flash red like I took damage, and I barely didn't. And enemies glitching into the floor. Now that is something I can say that Saints Row 3 had a lot happening in it when I played it. Needless to say, I was playing the PS4 version, which there is no difference between the PS4 version and the PS3 version. I tricked you there. They're the exact same pretty much, except one's on a different console. And there is no PS4 version. I was playing on PlayStation Now. At least I think there's no PS4 version. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Saints Row 3, but I do remember like constantly having enemies kind of halfway glitch into the floor. Usually ones on motorcycles. And guess what? The idols mainly ride motorcycles. I've had this happen like twice since the Saints Row reboot. In Saints Row 3, I had this happen like 100 times. Sometimes the enemy would glitch all the way in like to the floor. I couldn't shoot them, and then I just couldn't complete a mission, so I had to restart the mission. And I know that I'm not giving anything on co-op, but I really don't want to play co-op because like no one else I know has a copy, and I just don't want to play co-op because it's fucking broken. I can agree with that. I've watched with my own eyes people playing on similar firmware and software and equipment that I'm using. Why did I say software? But like same like setup and stuff, like a laptop or something. Because like some people I watch that stream list what they use and what their computer specs are, like their settings, what they use when they're like recording, like if it like affects like the frames or anything. And co-op sometimes gets very laggy from what I've seen, and also the second player seems to be Sonic the fucking Hedgehog in a way from some clips I've also seen. So I guess you kind of got a review on co-op, but I didn't play co-op myself, so I can't give like a 100% review on co-op. I really like the customization. I think it's really good, but it's kind of complicated with the face for the boss when you're customizing. Took me a while to get some things right because it's like way more in depth and some things affect other things in a way. And the more realistic art style that this game has makes the models look kind of gross if you do something slightly wrong when customizing your character. But a good thing is you can customize your character on the go. But it's kind of weird if you like change your character's voice like halfway through the story. What I like to do, this is a fun little thing that you can do with the new mechanic, technically new, of changing your character's appearance and voice and stuff. Like during gameplay and like after the customization thing at the beginning. It's technically not a new mechanic, but now you don't have to go to a plastic surgeon and pay to have stuff changed. You can just do it on the go. But I like to add scars to like my character after like a fight happens in a cutscene. And stuff. And another thing is the game controls. I know I should have said this in gameplay, but I think the base controls are kind of bad. For keyboard, I had no problem with controller. I have my controller on the floor over there. And I honestly don't understand why people have so much problem with the controls. I do have a problem with the, like, down on the D-pad, the crouch, and up on the D-pad for camera, and left and right on the D-pad for emotes, because sometimes I want to take a picture of something, and then I do that guitar emote thing, and then I get out of it, and I still hear the guitar because the taunts or emotes or whatever the hell you want to call them are kind of broken. Oh, I forgot to mention a bug, actually. Sometimes when I'm driving, I just slightly graze like something on the floor that's so tiny, but like big enough that I can run it over. It just kind of launched me in the air. I had that problem in Saints Row 4, because in Saints Row 4 your cars can go really fast, and it usually happens to me when I'm going really fast in Saints Row Reboot. Never really had that problem with Saints Row 3, because there really wasn't like that much like stuff near the road that could like fling your car if like the game decided to bug out. But I haven't experienced any like game breaking bugs. The only like weirdest bug I've experienced was just a cutscene had like a character's hands be like not on a table but up here. Eli's hands were just not on the table but floating. They were on his body. It was just slightly glitched. His hands were like so close to the table yet so far. That was the only cutscene glitch I've experienced, too. I'm surprised you guys like these reviews. They're so weird because there's just me rambling about things I write notes on. I don't even have like a specific order, like I remember something and then I talk about it. This is the second review of Saints Row Reboot that I'm doing. And so far, I still think the game's pretty good and fun. I have a lot of fun with like setting up where I'm going to put my like stuff, like all my little buildings on the map thing. Well, the Empire. I like how there's a leveling system for the Empire too. And I like how you have to find stuff to decorate the church. Because then it makes you explore the map more. Because then you look at like the little outlines of the collectibles, and then you look around the map, and then you find it, and then you take a picture of it, and then you just put it in, and then you have a nice looking thing in your church with the saints. And it's just fun. The characters are, in my opinion, very likable. Besides Nina, because she's like Shandi. I think I said that right. And I really didn't like Shandi that much, like how I didn't like Kenzie. I liked Shandi a bit more than Kenzie. But like, I'm talking like Saints Row 3 Shandi that I didn't like. Because she was like constantly like, she swore more than I do. And that's saying something. When I'm in my videos, I swear a lot. Not this one for some reason, because I'm just tired today. Because I was up all night playing Saints Row Reboot. The game's fun. And after this recording, and after I upload this video, I'm playing more. And I'm gonna level up some more, go back to that boss fight with a rocket launcher this time, and win. And then continue the story and probably beat the game. I don't know how long the game is, but I want to find out what happens at the end. I haven't got any spoilers. I just know that something happens at the end because the game begins with, I guess, the end. So, yeah. I have a few more things to say about some of my comments that I made in the last video as well. I know I already said something about the Johnny Gat thing, so I'm not gonna re-gat on that. That didn't even fucking rhyme. The Chris Ray Gun comment I made about how this channel isn't becoming like a Chris Ray Gun channel. I have nothing against Chris Ray Gun. He's a good content creator, and I like his content. How I said everyone's basically saying the game's woke, Zoomer trash. Zoomer trash, what people have been calling the game. It's just a lot of the reviews I saw. Sorry, I have this thing on like a piece of styrofoam and I'm picking at it. I'm getting distracted, sorry. It's most of the reviews I saw before recording were people saying the game's Zoomer Gen Z trash. Trying to be hip and cool. Radical. But isn't that like basically what most freaking fucking Saints games are? Being radically over the top gangsters. And something I forgot to mention, I think I forgot to mention, is how some people were mad about the tattoo on Kev's arm being a waffle. What the fuck? People saying that he's like one of the worst characters because of his personality. I already stated what his personality basically is. He's Saints Row 4 and Saints Row 3 Johnny Gat combined. With a bit of Matt Miller. What I mean by that is because he also kind of with that weird technology stuff because he used to be an idol. And another thing to say is I just really think people had overly high expectations. Expectations. I'm not saying it right, but I'm just really fucking tired right now. For the game, like people had really high expectations. There we are. And I feel like that hurt the game's popularity and everything else. Everyone's comparing it to all the other games, saying that all the other games are better, even though all those people that are saying all those games are better made reviews saying Saints Row 4 is a buggy, unplayable mess. Guess what they're saying about Saints Row Reboot? It's a buggy, unplayable mess. So, I know that doesn't eliminate the other ones, but what I'm just saying is most of the bugs that I've experienced and I've seen in videos aren't game breaking at all. They're just weird. It's not unplayable. It's unplayable if you don't want to play it. It's unplayable if you're a sweaty gamer that is a Redditor that just is allergic to women. Now that's going to make me lose subscribers for saying that. Most people don't watch my full videos. My fucking nose is itchy. But I'm just saying. It's like when people said GTA is becoming woke because there's going to be a woman in it. What the fuck? This is just the end of the video, and this is just my opinions on stuff that's kind of related to the topic. I think games shouldn't, like reboots shouldn't like always be compared to the like original franchise all the time and be called nothing like the franchise, because isn't the point of a reboot to be a fresh start? Isn't the point of a reboot to have a fresh feel? So just think about it. Reboot, not remastered. A fresh slate for new stuff. Not the same old formula. New stuff. So comparing it to the old games is like comparing a t-shirt that is size XL to a size small and saying they're the same size and saying that they should fit the same person. That was a weird ass comparison. But no one's gonna watch this video because no one watches my videos really. But if you are watching this and you made it to this part, I want you to like this video if you can, if you want to. It's not really up to me. It's up to you. And if you don't agree with me, okay, you can comment down below and tell me. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go play more Saints Row Reboot. See you guys next time. Sorry for like getting all serious at the end.